I would really request people to not to disturb such families who are already going through so much of pain, so much of trauma, to come and disturb their privacy and keep on asking about the questions, why your child like this, what has wrong with your child. So after some days, so I had stopped going down with my son.
You're watching Not Just Auntie with Suman Adepalli.
Our next guest on Not Just Auntie is Sheetal Bhatkar. She is the founder of With Arya and someone who never imagined herself as an entrepreneur. She only wanted to be a good housewife and doting mother and create a beautiful home for her family. After her daughter Prachati was born, she gave up her job at IndusInd Bank and her life revolved around her family. She was soon blessed with a son, Arya, and was totally dedicated in bringing up both her children. However, 18 months into Arya's birth, she noticed that he could neither stand, walk, or eat properly. A pediatric neurologist soon confirmed the worst, that he had a rare storage disorder called Niemann-Pick C, something that affects 1 in 10 lakh people across the world. Arya's parents heard something that no parent wants to hear. The disorder was incurable and Arya would not live long. After the slow deterioration and painful death of 7-year-old Arya, Sheetal and her husband Vikrant channeled their grief into helping others in similar conditions. They formed With Arya, an organization that extends emotional and financial relief to families of patients who have incurable or rare diseases. Her team offers lunch and dinner meal services to families and patients who are struggling financially through difficult medical treatments. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, Sheetal and her team, which includes her husband and many of her volunteer friends across Mumbai and Ratnagiri, have distributed thousands of ration kits, oxygen cylinders, and groceries to porters, sex workers, taxi drivers, coolies, and anyone who has lost their living. She credits the entire With Arya movement to her son, and she believes that it is because of him she found a voice.
You're watching Not Just Auntie with Suman Adepalli.
Hi Sheetal, welcome to our show.
Thank you, Suman, for inviting me to such a wonderful talk show. I have watched all your interviews and it's my honor to be part of it.
It's my honor, Sheetal. You're a very dear friend, and I have been following your journey since the last, 15 years.
Yes.
And I think there are thousands of people who want to know and are inspired by your story. So you're a BCom graduate. And like I've said in the intro, you never thought of yourself as an entrepreneur or a corporate leader. So just tell us about your journey. How did you think of founding With Arya?
After my graduation, I started working in a banking sector. And then I got married. We were blessed with daughter Prachiti and then our son Arya. But basically, I had a very happy and a content life. But God had some different plans for me. Arya was an adorable child, but soon we realized that his growth milestones were delayed. So after consulting several doctors, we came to know that Arya was suffering from one of the rarest genetic disorder, Niemann-Pick C. It was a new word for us too. So it's rare means in 5 lakhs, one child gets this disorder. So a disease that has no cure because an enzyme was missing in my baby's body. It was a progressive disease, so slowly his vital organs were not going to function. With this news, we all were completely shattered and we just did not know what to do. So in that situation, two major challenges we were facing was less awareness about this rare genetic disorder, and second, the mental and financial stress that the parents' family go through is horrifying.
Actually, if I may interrupt you, I remember you telling me that none of the doctors in Mumbai, which is the metropolitan, the financial capital of India, none of the doctors were aware that what has happened to him, and none of the labs could diagnose, and you had to send a patch of his skin to Netherlands. I still get goosebumps because it was such a shocking piece of news that in Bombay, a person who's financially capable is not able to diagnose that what is happening to their child. So can you tell us something about that experience as well?
Yeah, uh, basically, this was diagnosed 10 years back. So in 2010, Arya was going through all these tests. So there was no provision of diagnosing Niemann-Pick in India. So we had to send Arya's samples like skin and blood samples to Netherlands for diagnosing exact genetic disorder he was suffering from. And we got the reports after 3 months that he was Niemann-Pick type C patient. So that was actually the journey and our struggle started from that day. As there were very few doctors who actually knew about the disease and further course of treatment. We were just being told by the doctors nothing can be done. Just leave it. But as parents looking at our smiling child, how could we just leave it? So we just wanted to give him whatever possible treatment or possible whatever we could do it for my son. We decided we'll do it. So there was only one medicine which was available in Switzerland, which was costing 5 lakhs for 90 tablets. So we ordered for those medicines, but that also did not work on Arya. So whatever was possible, we tried homeopathy, we tried Ayurvedic, whoever said anything, whatever, and we tried everything for him. So that was the struggle we were going through. We were just constantly shuttling from between hospitals and home. Our life had completely turned upside down in that 8 years. So we decided to do whatever possible to keep him comfortable. So in those years, I also experienced the challenges that the patients and the families around us going through. At least we were financially blessed that we could give Arya what was possible for him to keep him comfortable. But we thought that other patients who are not financially that sound, how could we? They must be managing their kids with same disease. So that's the reason we started with Arya. So it was in 2010 we started with Arya to create awareness and help the patients who are suffering from genetic rare disorders.
You are an introvert, and you have told me many times that actually your son gave you a voice. You were able to voice your thoughts and say what you feel and have a goal in life, which you didn't really have before Arya came along. So do you want to share something about this?
Yes, so well, as you know, I'm a completely introvert person. I could do everything on this earth, but when it comes to interacting with people, it is a biggest drawback which I had before. But then when I started with Arya and Don Khas, that then I realized I will have to talk, express what I want to do for the society. Also, I experienced that while I empathize with the patients and the families, I am never short of words. That can be because I can feel the pain what they are going through, because I have also gone through the same journey. So through with Arya or Don Khas, I am now a completely a different person. What I was before my marriage and before starting with Arya, and now I am a completely different individual, I can say.
Of course, I can vouch for it as a friend. Definitely, you have grown. I mean, I think you have grown overnight after Arya came into your life. So
every day while distributing meals at with Arya, interacting with the patients when they come, they share their problems. For them also, they need someone who can share their problems. They can someone to listen to their stories or the difficulties they are going through while taking treatment at KEM, Tata, or Varia.
So, Sheetal, I wanted to ask you about Don Ghas, which basically means, I think,
Morsels.
two morsels in Marathi. Yes. So you are doing this service, and I think it is part of the foundation. I'm not really clear how it works. If it's part of the NGO or Don Ghas is another NGO. So could you please throw light on that and what you do?
So, With Arya is a main NGO. Under that, we have different initiatives.
Okay.
One is Don Ghas, one is Shaurya, one is Davadan, one is Ashray. So we have different initiatives running under with Arya. So Don Ghas is an initiative where we distribute meals to the patients and the relative outside KEM, Tata and Varia Hospital. Plus we do it in Ratnagiri as well. So in Ratnagiri, we are distributing morning breakfast and evening meals. So around 2,000 people we are serving every day. So we serve complete meal. That is dal khichdi, roti sabzi, banana. So it's like one meal, one can have it. So it's been now 6 years. In October, Dashera will be completing 6 years with this Don Ghas initiative. So during this time, whenever I usually don't miss a day going to Don Ghas, I feel incomplete if I miss a day also. So whenever I'm there at Don Ghas, it is really very satisfying and fulfilling feeling I get.
So is there a charge for this meal? Do you all charge any amount for this meal to the patient?
No, it's completely free of cost. We are just not charging anything for it.
Because I recall there was some nominal cost and you had to show your hospital card too, so that there aren't people who result in malpractices or beggars coming. I think you had a system to ensure that genuine families get it. So
initially we used to charge 10 rupees, but after COVID we have stopped. From last 2 years we are giving free of cost. But yes, they have to show their hospital pass and then only we serve them. Otherwise, anybody beggars. And main intention or motto of starting Don Ghas was a meal. Patients admitted at Tata KM are coming from all over India. So for them, looking after patients is really difficult and managing with all this. So at least one time meal they should get. That was the main motto of starting this Don Ghas.
So I recently read that you have also arranged for vaccines for sex workers, and you all have distributed grocery and ration kits for coolies, taxi drivers, auto rickshaw drivers. So can you tell us a little bit about these new initiatives?
In COVID times, each and every person was affected. So we tried to do as many things or whatever was possible for us, we tried to do it. So many initiatives we had done it. So first was a vaccination for the sex workers. No one had thought about them.
Yes.
So we did vaccination for 300 sex workers from all over Mumbai at Varia Hospital. Along with the vaccination, we had given them a ration, 1 month ration kit. A sari was gifted to them. So they were really happy to get that vaccination plus the ration kit and the sari. Then we did a ration kit to the taxi drivers, auto rickshaw drivers. Even we nearly distributed more than thousands of ration kit to the poor people, poor families, daily wage workers. Then again, we had gone to the Konkan, where they were affected, flood affected areas.
Chiploon, I think Chiploon, I was part of that.
Chiploon and Mahad, we had been there. So there are different initiatives, not only one, we are just stuck to one thing, but we try to help whatever is possible from us, we try to do it. So we distributed masks, sanitary pads also to the sex workers. So these are the different initiatives we try to do it along with our Don Ghas and other initiatives.
Hats off to these initiatives and rising to the need of the occasion. Every drop counts, and this is like a big river that you have created, Sheetal. So
thank you.
I'll come to the next question. When you look back at what your family has gone through, right from your daughter who was just 4 or 5 when Arya was born, and she has seen him suffer, and what you went through as the primary caregiver who was at home with him. I just want you to share a little bit of your journey, because as your friend, I remember that you used to tell me that a lot of people don't realize what a family of a terminally ill child or a child with a rare disorder or some kind of disability goes through.
Suman, my daughter Prachiti has lived and seen the toughest days in the first decade of her life. And I think no child should go through this. Arya required 24/7 medical care. Our bedroom was like a mini ICU room with suction machine, oxygen concentrator, and other life-saving support. So basically, we did not have a normal family life at all. Prachiti could not get attention of both the parents at the same time because one parent continuously had to be with Arya because he was under supervision. He was on oxygen for nearly 2 years. He was on 24 hours oxygen. So it was really a very difficult time for us as a family, I can say. And Prachiti really suffered a lot. Because of that, she has become responsible, very understanding at a very early age. She never threw tantrums like other kids do at their age. And now she's 18 years old. And now I think she is proud of us, what we are doing as different initiatives under with Arya, and she is also part of it. She tries to help us in whatever possible ways to take these initiatives ahead. And during that time, we really needed, because I used to be there at home 24 hours, and I needed companion who can just come and sit with me, share a few words with me, so I could express myself what I'm going through. And I really miss those actually the family members or the friends who can come over and sit and talk to me. And family, they were there. My sister was there, my brother was there to support me, and I'm really thankful to them who really supported me that time.
Sheetal, when you look back at your journey, what were the most difficult moments you faced? And also, as a parent who was a primary caregiver and who was taking care of Arya 24/7, what, according to you, was the most difficult part of it? And what would you want to share with the audience at large?
Arya required 24 hours medical care, and we could not give that attention to Prachiti as she needed at that time, at that for her age. So that is what is still hurting me, and still I'm not able to come over it, that I could not give my time to her. But she is really a wonderful daughter, I can say. As a mother, I would request to all the other people, like whenever I used to take Arya for a stroll or we used to take Arya somewhere out, people used to stare at us. And that used to make us more uncomfortable, they used to come and ask. So I can say I would really request people to not to disturb such families who are already going through so much of pain, so much of trauma, to come and disturb their privacy and keep on asking about the questions, why your child like this, what has wrong with your child. So after some days, so I had stopped going down with my son. But he used to really enjoy going out. So somewhere I used to really feel bad, but it used to be really a trauma for us also, for me actually. Because again and again answering the same questions, what is Niemann-Pick? Because Niemann-Pick is such a different word for everybody. No, there was no awareness for this. So answering the same question, why this is, what is wrong with my son? So it was really a trauma for me going through all that phase. So it's just a request for everybody to give such parents a their time, their family time, and just leave them alone whenever they are there as a family and they are with their child. I would say rather than just demoralizing those parents, try to comfort them, give them company, go to talk to them on a different topics, raise their moral. So that is the thing, the way they can help us.
The parallel question is, what do you do for a living? Because With Arya is an NGO, which is a non-profit. So what do you do in terms of your profession now?
When Arya was going through this problems, difficulties, that time only I had started a salon, unisex salon named Praya, which is in Parel. So I had started just to divert my mind rather than continuously thinking about the same thing. So when Arya was around 5 or 6 years old, I had started this unisex salon. But major amount of time I dedicate to With Arya initiatives. After Arya, I realized that the kind of void that I was filling cannot be filled with money or any other materialistic things. So yes, the void can't be filled, but working for With Arya makes me feel calmer and peaceful. So more attention is towards my With Arya rather than my Praya. So I can say Praya is on autopilot mode and still doing good by God's grace. Thankful to my staff who is taking care of my Praya, and my whole attention is to With Arya, and it will be my first priority, I can say.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, coming to the pet question, which everybody's waiting for. How old are you, Sheetal? And do you feel age is a barrier right now for whatever you want to do?
Yes, Suman, I am 43-year-old. And I would like to thank my parents for the good genes I have inherited from them, especially my dad, who is 66 years old, energetic and optimistic about life. And my mom and dad keeps me inspired. Even I'm really thankful to Vikrant, my husband, who is always there for me for all the initiatives and supporting me in this journey. Even during Arya, it was both of us because whole day I used to be there with Arya, but at night it was, because Arya needed 24 hours, like whole night, someone has to be monitoring his pulse rate, oxygen level, everything. So we used to take duties, like 2 hours. I used to sleep 2 hours. He used to sleep. So thank you, Vikrant, for supporting and being my pillar for my life. Thank you. So for me, age is always just a number, and also fortunate that when the purpose is to help others, age doesn't matter. In fact, in With Arya, we have volunteers from school-going kids to senior citizens. So all volunteers with the same enthusiasm we have. So I think, as Suman, you said, age is just a numbers.
True. Very true. So Sheetal, I would like you to tell us what advice would you want to give women above 40?
I just want to say to all the women that everybody's life is not perfect. Everybody has some or the other problems or difficulties. Just get up every day morning, treat this difficulty as a puzzle, try to solve them and keep moving. Don't feel victimized, first thing, and don't blame others. First thing, I also did the same thing. When Arya was diagnosed, first thing came to my mind was that only. Why me? What wrong I have done? So everybody was telling me bad karmas. So just don't think of all this. Every day, just take a charge of your life, keep adding to the good karmas, and you will find solution for all your problems.
That's amazing advice, actually. And I think it's applicable to everyone, whether 40, under 40 or any age. Sheetal, I also want to ask you that other parents who are suffering from the circumstances that you have just gone through, what would be your advice to them as well?
When Arya was diagnosed, and doctor had clearly said there is no cure, but as parents, we really wanted to do something. But now, I think I did a big mistake, Suman, at that time. I treated my son as a guinea pig. So each and every, I did trials on him, I think so. And I had put him under so much of pain during that time. And I'm really feeling so bad. And I cannot forgive myself for what I had done it for my poor son. But as a parent, how could we leave our son like this? So it was really disheartening to see our son suffering and going through the pain every day. We were really, dying every day. If our child gets just normal fever also, then also as a mother, you know how we go through. And you think if your son is completely breathless, he's not able to breathe, you think of the situation, what as a mother, I must have gone through. As a mother, you really had to be really, really strong. It was not only Arya had to look after, but as whole family, I had to be strong at that time. I had my daughter who was just 6-7 years old, my husband. So I had to look after everybody, that they should not break down. So I was the pillar of the house. So it's a advice. I know all the women who are in this situation must be doing the same thing what I did. I just want to tell all the parents who are in the same situation, just have faith and try to keep your child as comfortable as possible. So, and like after trying everything, at last I decided, bus, enough of it now. I have to keep my son in whatever condition I can, in a comfort zone. And that was my aim till the end, that I'm not going to trouble my son henceforth. So you should, I don't know whether I had given my best, what I did for my son.
Of course, as a person who was in touch with you at that time and seeing the struggle, seeing the amount of information you all were seeking globally, I think I would not say that you did anything wrong, Sheetal. I think you did your best. You and Vikrant did your absolute best. What anyone in that situation could not have done anything better. I think that's the message we just have to tell ourselves, that we tried our best. Don't you think? I mean, and Arya knows that you tried. And anything that you did to make him uncomfortable was just so that he lives healthier and for a longer time. Isn't it so?
Yes, that's the reason Arya is for, to help the patient so that other kids, what my son has gone through, other kids who are suffering from rare diseases should not go through the same pain what my son has gone through. So we are there to counsel the kids, counsel the parents whose kids are suffering from such rare disease. So this is our main motto for starting with Arya, is to create awareness for this rare genetic disorders.
Thanks a lot, Sheetal, for sharing such personal and deep details about your journey with us. I'm super inspired by you, you know it. While we have written this story in print, I feel that in this format, it reaches, I hope that it reaches a larger audience, because your story is really extraordinary. And why I keep telling your story to people is that the way you and your husband have channelized your grief, it's not easy. I mean, it is really a lesson for everyone in resilience. So thanks a lot for speaking to me, and thanks a lot for sharing all these details once again.
Thank you for inviting me on this show, Suman. Thanks a lot. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you.
It always is, and I was not going to leave you till you spoke to me. एक फिटनेस का भी रहता है, फिटनेस का क्वेश्चन. डू यू वांट मी टू आस्क? इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी.
What fitness?
कि व्हाट डू यू डू फॉर योर फिटनेस?
इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग कर रही हूँ फिलहाल तो
मैं लिख के देती हूँ, तेरा एक हफ्ता भी नहीं होगा. फूडी.
Every day, just take a charge of your life, keep adding to the good karmas, and you will find solution for all your problems.
Fabulous, yeah. क्या जवाब है? That's an amazing.
You're watching Not Just Auntie with Suman Adepalli.